There are 1,000,001 reasons why working on the neck with your client in the supine position can be advantageous, but for this month's quick tip, I'm going to talk about working on the neck from the prone position and how you can use that to your advantage. The support of the face cradle often allows the head and neck to let go on a much deeper level, and there are so many muscles in the posterior neck. I've started by petrissaging the tissues up away from their underlying structures, and I'm just going to sink in, working my way up from the shoulder to the head, allowing the muscles that hold the head up from falling forward a little relief. The key here is your ability to sink in with the hand that's doing the work, but stay light with the hand that's guiding the head. I've got my right hand working from medial to lateral, so from the spinous processes out, and as I work my way up, my left hand is slightly guiding the head into a little bit of rotation, but not pushing the head down into the face cradle. Remember that there are 4 layers of muscles here with little muscles going in different directions. So I'm just using one finger to do the work and supporting my work with my other fingers. So tiny movements and adjustments to your movements are going to feel huge to your client. As I get closer to the base of the skull, I'm switching from using my left hand to move her head to using my right hand to do the movements because the suboccipitals are tiny. I'm going to repeat this work, but I want to emphasize the fact that you can cater this work to whatever is going on for your client. You're really accessing here the upper trap fibers, the levator scapula, the upper splenius capitis, the upper splenius cervicis, the upper semispinalis muscles, longissimus, multifidi. There are so many. And there's lots of ways that your client can feel their dysfunction in different parts of their head, neck, jaw, shoulder, whatever it might be. For example, I'm going to focus in on the rhomboid minor right now, but don't forget that this muscle is sandwiched between the upper traps and the serratus posterior superior, and these all lay on top of the intrinsic muscles of the spine. So working through a specific trigger point or adhesion is going to help to ease that muscle or that connective tissue, but it's also going to have an effect on its surrounding tissues. I think as massage therapists, we often want to help our clients so much that we want to give them the perfect technique that's going to solve all the things. And that's just not possible. But there are so many ways that muscles and tissues can combine to create movements and that can fall into dysfunction. So exploring all the possibilities, finding the different positions, playing around with nuanced movements, and taking our time with detail is going to be our best bet. The muscles that reach up and grab onto the cervical spine and all the way up to the base of the skull quite literally pull the head and neck into every different direction and into every plane of movement. Continue to do all the amazing work that you do in the neck with your client supine, with your client in the side lying position, but don't forget to flip them prone. This might just be the perspective you needed to find what was going on and they needed to receive it. For this work, I recommend Snore. Not literally snoring, but my lavender-infused butter and oils that are not only geared to help you work smarter, not harder, but are also gently scented for that extra nudge into relaxation. Next week's From the Vault video takes a closer look at the adductors and how getting them to let go might not be as simple as you think. For more content like this, subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, head over to my website and sign up for free shipping on your first order.